I'm very excited to be here today. I was making fun to Rick last night. If we have 5 hours to explain to you about how to take your OpEx program to the next level, it will be awesome. So I'm gonna have to give you a quickie in 20 minutes. So if you want to get more experience, we can go outside, we can talk, I give you all the information that you need. I've been doing this for a long time. I told my friends that we have become kind of dinosaurs. You know, you get to see everything from the beginning all the way to the end. And we're going to talk about that today. I want to make sure if I can get in 20 minutes the idea of that you know where you are today. I want you to get out of here today and say, I know exactly where my program is. And then I would like to tell you what are the simple points that you need to get to the next level. If I can do that in 20 minutes, we did a speed dating, very nice. So, like my dear friend said, I have worked, and if you take a look at this, it's like Sesame Street. Which one of these ones does not fit there, right? So, you know, GE Medical System, Medtronic, Covidien, Johnson & Johnson, oops, Univision. And then Catalent. My experience has been most of my life on healthcare, medical device, pharma. 4 years ago, I got the pleasure to actually create the first ever operational excellence program in media broadcasting in Univision. So if you ever want to go ahead and get the phone number of Jennifer Lopez or Enrique Iglesias, I'm your guy. I can get you in contact with them and get you free tickets. It was a very, very unique experience, and we're going to be talking a little bit about that today on how different it is. So far so good, right? So that's me. What I want for you to understand the objective for today. Simple. Understanding where you currently are. You know. By the way, I need to know something that is very important for this presentation. Anybody over here that the program is 5 years or under? Oh, nice. 5 years and 10 years. Over 10 years. I still like the 5 years and under. That's good. Because, you know what? It's like me telling you right now that you're going to be running a triathlon, and I cannot ask you that right now. I need to ask you first, pick what you want to do, biking, running, or swimming, and we take it one step at a time, right? So, the section is how do you create an assessment identification of gaps? Honestly, if I got the 5 hours, I want to give you templates, stop on everything on that one. I'm going to have to focus on the main things to talk to you about it. Then if you need more information, we can get together and I can give you the whole wagalunga and everything. Capability of the OpEx program of the future, AKA training. In my company, I have completely prohibited the word training. I'm going to explain to you why. We're supposed to be talking about what is the capability. So I don't know if you feel the same way in your companies, but we're going to talk about that and why we use the word capability. Until 1 year ago that I joined Catalent, for me it was OpEx training, OpEx training, OpEx training. No, OpEx capability. So far so good. Anything else that you want to learn today? We good? You're laughing at me already, but you know that what is coming. Okay, this is very important. And when I went to Univision, I actually, first time that I created OpEx program, you know, you're in a creative environment. So I come from medical device where if you mess up somebody died. So I asked somebody over there, say, how do you actually measure success? How do you know if you're doing something well? Can somebody guess what they told me? Everybody all the way from the operators to the executive staff. They pointed to a TV and they told me that thing is not dark. Really? Are you telling me that that's how do you measure success? Yeah, that thing is not dark. So it doesn't matter what you put in there, you're happy? Yes, it's not dark. So guys, we have a long way to go. So the same thing I have to tell you. If you cannot measure your process, you know, you cannot manage it, right? So it's the same thing. How do you actually measure success in your OpEx program? And I want to take 2 minutes because I need to understand where are you there. Can somebody tell me how do you actually measure success in your companies and your OpEx program? Anybody?
Could be adoption rate and size.
Adoption rate, size, okay.
So penetration metrics across different parts of our organization and financial targets.
Interesting.
Strategic results and capabilities.
Okay, nobody has said the famous word yet. I'm looking for it.
Financial impact.
Financial impact. Wow. You know, I have done this for 20 many years, and I tell you that that's the first word that came. How much money are you going to bring to the table? You know, and they said, you make a big salary, so we need to go ahead and pay your salary and more. So how much are you going to bring? By the way, I did, in part of my career, I did some consulting. And you know, as a good OpEx person, you become very good in doing this. And as a part of my process, I said to my customer, you know what? I don't want you to pay me. I don't have any fee. I want 1% of whatever I save you. So I got this hospital in Miami that I said, oh my God, that sounds so good. And when I went and did the assessment the first time, it was $70 million in an opportunity. They said, oh, no, how much is your rates? Well, you know, you asked for it. You know, I thought just 1%, give me 1%, we're happy family. I did not end up doing the process. So, this is the most important slide of my presentation. If you have to remember what Angel Garcia taught me, what is my tattoo on this, it will be this. And by the way, this presentation is online. You can get it, or you can, at the end I'm going to give you my email. I can email it to you. This is simple, guys. 3 steps, 3 levels in any company you got. No matter what, and we can test it. The first time when you start an OpEx program, it's kind of like the company needs something, okay? They want something, they are in a transformation, they need something, and everything is worked through project-based program. So when you start making kind of like, okay, we have an OpEx program, and I have 5 black belts, and these are the initiatives that we have to do, and then you start doing kind of like a PMO. Everybody knows what a PMO is, right? So you start working in that, and that the problem is you got a 50% rate of being successful in that part. Because you know what? At some point, you're going to run out of money, run out of idea, and there's so much that you can cut. Real or not real? And I think that everybody has seen that over here. I think that we're OpEx experts. We know that. The problem is this. I'm a fat guy. You know that? I know how to lose weight. I know that I have to watch out what I'm eating. I know that I have to work out. I know that I have to get out of my chair often. That's why I bought this little thing, keep bugging me. But you know what? It's my choice to do it, yes or no. So it's difficult to do it, right? It's the same thing over here. You can get stuck over here for years because what you're looking for is that money coming in, projects, and you're happy with that. That's not an OpEx program. Sometimes a 50%, oh, you only have kind of what we talk, more or less, the cost out program. Second part gets very interesting. And this is where you actually make the leap. Most of the companies are here. Where you actually get and you start seeing the end-to-end process and you understand. In order to do this, I have to do this. If I do this, I'm going to affect these people, these people, these people, and these people. And then you start putting metrics in place. And the funny part about this, when you start talking about understanding of your process and your needs, the projects start flowing. And then you're not talking about money, because you know what? The money shows up. It took me a while to understand that, because I was always at the beginning of my career very focused on this. I used to work for X company, and they told me at the beginning of the year, this is your productivity number for the year. Boom! And sometimes I even got a number one time of $164 million. And it was over 300 projects, and I'm like, oh my God, that's why I end up like this. So this part is more interesting because it's what we call the discovery phase. You are seeing what you are capable of doing, and you understand where to go from end to end. My company that I'm right now is right now in that point to make, kind of here to make that jump. Like right now we understand we have our metrics for cost, we add value to the organization, but we want to go to the strategic mindset, where you had metrics driven ahead of the game. Somebody in this room have ever heard what is safety, cost, quality, and delivery? So people like those ones, okay? And they're supposed to be very well-driven metrics, right? If I have metrics so nice and everything and I don't do anything about it and I'm not ahead of the game, am I good? Metrics are metrics, right? And people push you a lot. OpEx is about metrics, everything. No, OpEx is to be when you are ahead of the game and you avoid the problem, or you avoid the deviation, or you make the customer satisfaction. That's when I tell you that you got a top-notch OpEx program. Does that make sense? Yes? Very simple. Trust me, I'm not teaching you rocket science. It's like the same thing. Everybody can be dating Cindy Crawford, very skinny, but we chose not to do it because we don't want to do it. So, a realistic assessment. There are three things that we need to talk about over here. Everybody knows that in order for you to have an OpEx program, you have to have management support. Let's talk about that for 1 second. Hopefully she doesn't come with that thing again. And top-down management is very important. I hate when a CEO comes and says, we're going to do OpEx. We want to do OpEx. But nobody in the middle of the program, they understand why are we doing this? What am I going to gain out of this? But then the part that I hate is, okay, so you're going to, what's in for me? You know, what is this going to bring me to the table? What am I going to get? And sometimes that management support, when you tie it up to actually compensation or you give rewards, it's very important. Current project that I got right now, I got people that they manage kind of like files, think about like orders. And instead of me telling them, I'm going to ding you in your performance evaluation every time that you get X amount of performance mistakes, what I did the other way around. I said, you know what? Anybody in this room that passed 30 days and you got less than 2% defect in your orders, you're going to get $500. By the way, I started in January with 30% defect. I just ran the number last night. I'm a 7% defect. So people start moving. You know, it's a different kind of influence that you get. Organization readiness is very important. If you cannot understand your process, how can you do something well? I always make fun to people because it's not the same to cook a meal than to understand the process to cook a meal. I'm not asking you to cook the meal. My wife can burn water. She's a great doctor, but I think that she understands the process, but don't let her cook. So it's the same thing over here. You know, if you understand your process and you understand what you're supposed to do and what to get to actually those customer requirements, that's very important. Don't do projects and don't do initiatives just for it. Get a vision of where you're going. And at the same time, tools, knowledge, and capability. That's a problem. If you asked me 10 years ago, when you used to be an OpEx person, you focus a lot in teaching the tools. Now, you got business leaders that they have been already black belts, market black belts, linkers, and they know the tools, right? It's about how do you actually get those tools embedded on the organization. What am I going to get and how I'm going to get it into the organization? When you get to that point, you're a cookie. Strategic metrics. We talk about the KPIs. Don't measure stuff just because of you measure. Make stuff that actually is going to teach you and tell you where is the problem on the organization. Because what? Remember what I tell you. You want to be ahead of the game. You don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. And that actually creates the number one thing that is the most important, the coaching mentality. Past years ago, we used to talk about organization where you have teams that they do projects. Now you want to actually make sure that those teams are coaching the organization on do the initiative. If you go there, that's a big key in your program. Now, when we talk about organization capability, and remember, it's not training, it's about work, is, you know, who's the OpEx people? Is it everybody or we gotta select it? I got OpEx organization that they actually, I have done it, where I got an organization of 3,000-4,000 people, and I have a group of 20 black belts, and we function like a consulting firm. We go in, we fix, we get out. We go in, we fix, we get out. Or do you want to do it kind of like the GE way where actually everybody has to be a black belt, everybody has to be a green belt, everybody has to be a master black belt? It depends on your organization. It's very interesting. How do you want to manage that? Second part, look at this. Understand what I understand. Do you understand, as I said, the process? Do you understand what are the metrics around that? And do you understand where you're going to get the most? The tool set, you're going to be tactical strategic. What I mean by that, you're going to force everybody to go ahead. What happens if you have a crew, like I used to have in Univision, the field? Do you think that a camera person is going to go ahead and do a T-test? You know, that's crazy. But can I teach that guy where to put everything on the truck, so he can find the 5S, where to find the cards. One guy, one time, do you remember the Connecticut shooting? We were there on the field, and the guy took 1.5 hours just to find a P2 card. P2 card is like an SD card, because he was a mess on that truck. So, you know, if you actually get that, you move, you know, it's simple stuff. By the way, there is a very good book that I just read, that is everything that I know about Lean, I learned in first grade. Very good book. If you have a chance to look at it, because it's gonna teach you about the tools. And then, the coach. Remember, you want to be proactive, not reactive. So you want to coach the organization, you want to coach the people in order to get what you want. Look at that, Rick. I'm impressed. Last page. Take your OpEx program out to space. 4 different things, guys. Very important. You know, the right management support, super important. It's not about just the CEO. It's and how you're going to drive that culture all the way down. And we know that. It's kind of funny. Remember what I told you. We know how to get on a diet. Are we doing it? Because that's the problem. We're not. You know, yes, I know. Tell you. That you have to get an eager organization. You have to get people to believe in it. And that's this one over here. I was trying to put it, I wanted to put an anchor over here. That's what actually holds the one, that eager organization. You have the people to actually want to do it, what's in for me, and how we're going to get it to the next level. That's very important. The right people. 5 years ago, if you asked me what it takes to do a very successful OpEx program, I will tell you 3 things. Okay? It's very funny, but they work. Number 1, you need to have very clear top-down management, support, engage with compensation. So, you know, there's some motivation. Number 2, hire the right people. Make sure that if you're gonna go get the right black belts, the right process improvement, get people that they know what they're doing, and then teach them the tools. And number 3, and it's the most important one, reward your team for the success. Simple. Remember what I told you about the people that I'm working right now? Instead of dinging you because you are not doing your job, I'm gonna actually give you an award if you keep doing your job perfectly. It works. Trust me, it works. And get involved in the company full vision. Sometimes that part that is the most important, but when we do OpEx, we do not know the big picture of the company. Sometimes we get like, go ahead and work on this department, or go ahead and work on this area that is giving me trouble. But like I told you, if you know your process, what is actually A, B, C, and D, and what is the actual ripple effect, that company full vision will give you a lot. And that's what I got for you today. As I said, I can give you 5 hours on this. We can talk about everything you want, but he cut me only for 19 minutes and do 30 seconds. I'm getting you a second before. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much. Phone number, email, more than glad to go ahead and talk to you or respond to any emails that you want. It's my pleasure.
We got a couple minutes, so if you got any quick questions for Angel.
All right, you're gonna give me a question?
I got a question. Of course, you know.
Yeah, I know you're gonna give me a question.
Just know I'm your biggest fan, but question is, when we go from our discovery phase to the strategic phase, right? We are used to having executives, right, be very reactive, right? Something is wrong, KPI is failing, right? And that's when we get asked to come in and help. You talk a lot about being ahead of the game and getting people to allow you to engage before it fails, right? How do you train your executives to help you, right, get ahead of the game? And the second part is, how do we make our OpEx program part of our strategy so we can see where we're heading and actually fix things before it happens, kind of thing, right?
He gave me 3 questions, by the way, just to let you know. Number 1, this is simple. Have somebody ever heard the phrase, you need to make them drink the Kool-Aid? That's the number 1 thing that you have to do. More than anything else, in order for you to be proactive, you need to gain what I call the respect, or they can see the value. The number 1 problem you're going to find is that executive at the C-level, they love something that we call the band-aids and the quick hits. They got a problem, they want you to go ahead, fix it, and fast. Give me a quick hit so I can get but what they're asking me is to put a Band-Aid. Because you know that if you're gonna fix stuff the right way, it's gonna take time and it's gonna take effort. But they don't like that. Give me a quickie, fast. I said, you don't like quickie, so why you want a quickie? I said, no, give me a quickie, I need it right now, fix it. I said, okay, I'll give you a quickie then. So you need to avoid that. You know, you need to get but when you put the right metrics, those KPIs, they have to be valuable. So you can be ahead of the game and then go on the other side. Once, in my experience, when they see it once, you're gonna have the open door. That's a gimme. You have to be somebody, nobody, this is God love. Nobody is gonna say no to somebody that is gonna make them look good or take them to the next level. They always ask me, what's in for me? What are you gonna do for me? And when I tell them, well, I'm gonna save you, I don't know, X amount of money, or I'm gonna make your lead time better, or I'm gonna make your customer satisfaction, say, now we're talking. Now what it is. Now, so the third part, in the strategy, you need to understand where the company is going. Usually, I don't know if your companies work this, we have a plan for 1, 3, and 5 years. Don't stick to the 1 year. Make sure that you understand as a leader of OpEx, where do they want to go, so you can actually create your process to get there. But more than anything else, that first part where you actually get them involved and see a little bit and drink the Kool-Aid, is going to take you to the next level. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Kind of? Okay.
All right, we're going to have to cut off and move to the next one. Thank you, Angel. Excellent job as always.
This one's good.